get the show started!
The reason I am such a fan of the sport is because of the unpredictability of every second, you know, no matter who's better, something about this sport, you know, instances of time can just change everything. So it's hard for me to like put a nail on something when I know that is such a factor, luck and chance. Ultimately, I think Poirier will win. I think if it goes past 2.5 rounds, I think Poirier wins. I think the first 2 rounds are going to be, you know, I think if they get into some grappling situations, I think Poirier can get finished in the first 2.5 rounds. But I think after that, come down like most fights do to heart and will. And I think, there's something special about Poirier when it comes to that department, you know. He's made all the money, but, you know, it's very special when he finds someone that's not here just for the money, and he's one of those guys. So, you know, I don't see him losing in the heart and will department in this fight.
All right, guys, I am on location where the fights are going to be. Weigh-ins are going to go down a little bit later today, but I got to tell you, I might be taking my pick, right? I know you guys like to know who I pick so you know who to bet the other way on. And as this year winds down, I've only got 2 right. Pretty consistently bad. But I got to tell you, I think I'm switching. Okay. I've been Poirier from Jump Street. I think I'm switching to Oliveira. That's not official. I'll get back to you.
My breakdown for the main event, UFC 269. If I'm the champion, Charles Oliveira, I need to force the fight, to put pressure, to make sure that I try to make my opponent down. By doing this, even if he's not successful, he's gonna make Poirier thinking about different threats. You know, we know Oliveira is a wizard on the floor. So if he gets Poirier's there, he's gonna be very dangerous for Poirier. If I'm Poirier, on the other hand, I want to make the fight a pure kickboxing fight. Use my movement. You know, sometimes drop bombs, but don't stand there in front of Oliveira, because if you don't move, you become an easy target and also easy to grapple with. This is my pick for the UFC this weekend, UFC 269. I got Dustin Poirier winning in the decision. I got Kuldeep Galbran winning in the decision. And I also have Sugar Sean O'Malley winning in the first round, TKO.
And I think when you look at the last few fights of Dustin Poirier, he's definitely got better. Look at those fights against Conor McGregor. Conor, you know, love him, hate him, feel like he's on the slide or whatever. He's an incredible striker, incredible boxer. And he beat him at his own game on 2 occasions. Of course, against Dan Hooker, he looked sensational as well. I think when you combine it with that, I think you combine it with the high-level experience. I think with the footwork that he has and the speed and just the grit and determination and the chin and what this means to him. Of course, it's a big deal to Charles Oliveira as well. Not taking that away from him. Of course, everything I just said about him applies to Charles in terms of motivation. He comes from the favelas. He comes from a very disadvantaged background. Of course, he's going to leave no stone unturned. He's going to do whatever he can to remain the champ. But I just feel that fire burns a little stronger for Dustin Poirier in terms of his legacy, his destiny, the journey that he's been on. And for those reasons, my official pick, Dustin Poirier, knockout, TKO.
Knockout. Okay, so he finishes the fight.
I think he finishes the fight round 3 or round 4, as you say, with the hands.
I think Oliveira is going to do it as well. Yeah. I don't know. I think Charles Oliveira is dangerous at like bookends, you know, like striking range, grappling range. Poirier might be able to dictate where the fight goes, but he can't dictate what happens when it's there. And I think Oliveira is just. I mean, I said everything I needed to say in the War Room and the Breakdown Show. Like if you're it's like if you put your mind in Oliveira's mind and you're going into this fight with Poirier, I'm like, okay, so I don't want to get backed up against the fence. But as long as I get back to against the fence and I'm fresh, I've got good options here. I can level change. I can hit him with elbows. I've got a good uppercut and a good left hook. So I've got options there. If I get tired, that's my thought. I could take him down. I could be on the bottom position. And I could still work submissions. But if I'm tired, and that's the whole thing. It's Poirier getting through hard 2-3 rounds and then putting it on him in the last 2 to stop him. And that's the way that Poirier wins this. That's the, I mean, he could get a decision, but he's gonna have to work really, really hard for it and avoid a lot of traps in the process. I actually think Oliveira might catch him with something and sub him.
I've been watching Charles Oliveira for a long, long time, and he's an absolute phenom, and his story is fantastic. But in those earlier fights, there was some quit in him, and Chin will ride on that all day.
Yeah, I remember that.
There's some quit in him that never leaves you. There's no mental coach you can get with. There's you can't win 20 fights in a row and, that leaves you. If that is in you, that stuff never leaves you. It's almost a business, never leaves. That will there's nothing. There's no coach you can get with. There's no technique. There's no supplement. There's nothing you can take that's ever going to leave your body. Now, for him to get to that point, I think is a tougher road. For him to get to that quitting point is a tougher road, and his confidence is all-time high. But if I know that's in there, if I know that part of you is in there somewhere, and you're finding a guy in Dustin Poirier who gets better over each round, and is confident it's better, and he has a granite chin, and he has that knockout power, and you look at the way he beat Justin Gaethje, and he beat Eddie Alvarez, and what he did to Conor McGregor. I just think for 25 minutes, you have to kill Dustin Poirier or choke him out unconscious like Khabib did. And I just don't see Charles Oliveira standing for 25 minutes and not getting knocked out unconscious. I think my boy, the Diamond Dustin Poirier, gets it done.
Now, Charles Oliveira, maybe not the most well-known fighter in the UFC, maybe not the most popular, but you got to respect this guy. Most subs, most finishes in UFC history. The guy is a wizard on the mat, and he has turned into a very well-rounded MMA fighter. There's a knock on him that he wilts when the pressure is on. I think this is hogwash. If you watched his last fight against Michael Chandler, the guy almost got finished in the first round, came back and beat Michael Chandler in the second round. If he wilts, he would have been done in the first. Now, people remember the old Charles Oliveira who did get finished, who did get beat, who couldn't figure out his weight. That guy is no more. He has evolved. He has come into his own. He has matured. He's a different fighter. So forget about that. Now, there's also a label on Dustin Poirier over the years. That label has been when the going gets tough, when it's the big stage, when the spotlight is the brightest, he doesn't win that big fight. Remember Korean Zombie back in the day. Remember the first Conor McGregor fight. Remember the Michael Johnson fight. Remember the Khabib Nurmagomedov fight. Those days are over. He beats McGregor back in January. He beats McGregor back in July. These are the two best lightweights right now in the UFC. Dustin Poirier has been through a lot. He has overcome a lot. He has been in this game for a long time. Maybe his final chance to win UFC gold against the streaking Charles Oliveira. It's a fast-paced matchup, and as of right now, Charles Oliveira is the betting underdog. Now it's close, but he is the betting underdog as champion against the challenger, the favorite, Dustin Poirier. Super interesting fight.
Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, please leave a like and subscribe to our channel to keep up with the latest MMA news.